we have zero confirmation on this. I'm going to say this again, zero. Pokemon Stars is supposedly on the way. This is really funny because we were supposed to get the announcement, at the one of the announcement of the Switch, or just that first direct that really showed off the Switch. Everyone was pretty much going to that expecting to see Stars. That's around when Eurogamer, I think, broke that story. Mm-hmm. And they've continued to pretty much stand behind that. Like, I guess they have some sort of inside source at Nintendo telling them that Pokemon Stars is real. And the common sense factor tells us that it's probably real, because I don't think anyone's going to argue that if Pokemon Stars comes out on the Switch, you will not see those in stores. No matter how many Nintendo tries to put in stores, you will just never see them there because it will sell out constantly. We saw that with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It sold out all the Switches in Japan, which ended up being about 75,000 Switches last week. I have to imagine that Pokemon Stars would sell out double that, no problem, in a week.
Seems like a no-brainer. So
it does.
They really should announce it, right? If it is real.
What's amazing is they can sell a 2DS XL, a Switch, and 3 copies of the game to one person doing this if it's all compatible. Mm-hmm. Like, you can sell Pokemon Stars, Sun, Moon, a 2DS XL, and a Switch. What's that going to come to? Like $600? Like,
I guess
it's insanity if you consider that. That is how strong, though, that Pokemon is. People, I'll say this at the end of time. I was in a podcast a long time ago when I first started on YouTube, and I talked to them about Pokemon and how it is a very powerful brand, an IP. It's probably one of the strongest I've ever seen. And they didn't understand. They didn't know Pokemon was that strong. I'll tell you now, Pokemon is obscenely powerful in terms of intellectual property. Sony and Microsoft would bend over backwards to get Pokemon on their side.
Oh, of course. But so, for the 3DS, how long did it take for it to get its first Pokemon game? Was that X and Y, right?
That was X and Y, yes. Mm-hmm.
Was that 2013?
That was
remember.
Was that 20? Because, well, it was that Alpha, and then Sapphire and Ruby went over, and now Sun and Moon. I think you might be right with 2013 because it's like 2 years between, right?
Yeah. So the Switch just came out. So if you go by those standards, we may not see the next Pokemon on the Switch until late 2018 or maybe even early 2019. You never know.
It's possible, but the rumor going around right now is that not even rumor, they found them. There's high definition assets in Pokemon Sun and Moon right now. Mm-hmm. And the thought is that they built those of all the Pokemon. Every one of them has high definition assets for 1080p. Everyone believes that they have made these to get ready for Pokemon Stars. Like, Pokemon Stars was already in development, or at least thought of when those were being made. So they spent the extra development time to do that. And that would be something, right? If they show up at E3, or historically, I'm going to say this now, historically, Pokemon is announced before E3. So believe it or not, we could see a direct in a week or two if Pokemon Stars is real, with them announcing Pokemon Stars, which would steal the thunder from so many companies.
Yeah, if that was announced, especially for the Switch, because I have this like fear that maybe we'll get Pokemon Stars, but maybe it'll just be on the 2DS XL or the 3DS.
Oh gosh, I hope not. Oh no.
Yeah, like that would be so but that would also be like a Nintendo thing to happen. It'd be like what? Why wouldn't they? You know what I mean? Like, why would they just stop the NES Mini when it's selling so quick? It's like, why do they do so many weird things? Mm. So I wouldn't really be surprised if something weird like that happened.
Yeah, the year, you make a good point there, Philip. The year the 3DS came out, I believe they released their last Pokemon game on the DS. I just can't remember the name of it right now. But
that was probably Black and White too, right?
I think so. And I was like, what are they thinking? Put that on the 3DS. It'll sell, the system. But they were thinking about software sales, right? The DS was 150 million consoles sold, or whatever it was at the time. And so they were thinking, man, we can make all this money in the DS. So they put it on the DS, and obviously the Pokemon game came later on the 3DS. But sometimes Nintendo, they have something else on their mind, and just like what Philip said, who knows what they'll do with that. That will sound really dumb to us, but maybe to them it's really smart. Who knows?
Well, I think the idea is it's going to be a third, like that third release. Like, you always get that weird middle game, like an Emerald, or a Platinum. I think that's the idea of Stars, because it works with obviously Sun and Moon Stars. That makes sense, and I would hope that they would do that. after realizing that games need to be there and Pokemon will push Switches. I realistically, they could release 4 games next year, and if Pokemon Stars was one of them, the Switch would continue to sell out.
Oh yeah,
it's the craziest thing to think about, but that's just the way Pokemon is. People get
it's
crazy
like Grand
about
Theft Auto. It's just it sells. It's an engine. It's a money printing machine. And
Grand Theft Auto is obscene.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is.
Yeah. Evan, what are your Pokemon thoughts there, man?
I mean, it's Pokemon. If you and I know the beast. I mean, we've seen it from the other side of the sales counter. I mean, the only thing I'm wondering is what if they announce it and they announce a special edition Switch, like a special edition skin Switch with it?
The first one, yeah.
Yeah. How would you?
How much are they going to go for on eBay? Probably about $1,000.
Yeah, but would you be pissed about that, or would you actually be excited about getting a second Switch with a whole new skin? Because that's always been something that's bothered me with when they released that stuff. Because when I first bought the 3DS was when it was the original one, and then I think they released the special edition ones like within a couple months that really made me want them, and that kind of annoyed the hell out of me. But do you think would it kind of anger you more to see that happen now?
See, I'm weird about that because I'm not a fan of special edition systems. I like mine to be just plain. I don't know. I'm weird about that. The only one I would consider is maybe a really nice looking Fire Emblem one that just looks, I don't want to say it. I don't like some of the systems because the colors are kind of odd sometimes. It's a little too flashy for me. I like kind of having the nice looking, just plain gray Switch, but that's just me. I know a lot of people out there, like, I didn't really want the neon one, so I was kind of odd about that. I wanted just the regular gray Switch colors. I know, Philip, you got like the nice red neon going on and everything.
Oh, I got them all. Yeah.
But
I can't wait for yellow.
I'm just not a fan of all the different colors. Realistically, I like red, but it's my favorite color. But I'm much bigger of a fan, I think, of something that's just like monochrome. I'm boring like that. But if it was like a nice looking Switch with like a Triforce symbol somewhere on it that was like gold, I would like that. But when they come out with ones that are like purple and I don't even know what color would Stars even be. Would it just be purple or some other weird color?
Probably gold and blue, maybe. I don't know.
I could see that. I don't know. I'm not sure they would do it.
I'm wondering if they would do the whole Switch or if they would just do the Joy-Con. Like maybe it would just be a Joy-Con thing.
True.
And keep the consistency with the black. I mean, maybe we'll see like the a white Switch or something like that. I don't know if Nintendo would do white. That's maybe too plain for them.
They have white 3DSs in Japan.
That's true. That's true. But I definitely think that we're going to hear a lot about Joy-Cons come E3. At least 1 or 2 special edition with games that are going to be announced or have already been announced. So
it'd be neat to have different forms of the Joy-Con too. Not just all the same exact thing. Maybe a different shape. Yes. That'd be interesting.
Thumbsticks with little Pokeballs on the top of them.
There's so much potential. I mean, I don't know personally like what is compatible with the way you can slide those on, but I definitely could see so many different things, so many different inputs, Joy-Cons with, different sensitivities or like the analog triggers and stuff like that,
So are we pretty much agreed that Pokemon Stars makes a lot of sense and we hope it's real?
Yeah.
If Nintendo's smart with their business on the Switch, then yeah, definitely.
See, I would
release Pokemon.
I'm also kind of weird because I like the older Pokemon. I play some of the newer ones, but not a lot. I think I would play Pokemon on the Switch a lot more. The thing that really sets me off about the 3DS and even the 2DS XL, I guess at this point, and it always will, is that top screen resolution. It's always bothered me, and it probably always will bother me. And the Switch version, if they can get it out at like a nice looking clean resolution and everything, even if it's 720p, it won't bother me. But the fact that the 3DS and I guess the 2DS, it's like what, 240p or something like 240.
That. Mm-hmm.
Like people on my YouTube videos complain when it's 360p. When you first upload and people get to the video and they're like, it's 360p. Yeah, those 3DS and 2DS screens are 240p. They were originally designed to be small. They weren't designed to be as large as what the 3DS XL is right now, or the 2DS XL. And it gets the point across when you're playing a game. But I just feel like Pokemon, man, it just has never had its, I don't think it's ever been given the chance to be something that it can be on the Switch, where it looks really nice and it's on TV and on your TV screen, and it's a much bigger adventure. It frame rate's better because all the stuff I hear is that Pokemon Sun and Moon, as you get further into it, the frame rate, they had to turn 3D off because the frame rate just gets very bad sometimes. So I think they desperately want it on the Switch because it would just open it up, man. How amazing would that be if you fire up Pokemon on the Switch and it looks like a full blown, like, I don't want to say PS4 game, but like up there in visuals, and the frame rate is rock solid at even 30 frames, and it's just a fun experience. I would like that. I would like that a lot, actually.
I mean, that's the game we've all been wanting, isn't it? Like for so long, that like full on console 3D world Pokemon RPG. Like, I think the Switch is the perfect time to do it, because they get the best of both worlds. They still have their handheld Pokemon, but now they get to transition over to the console world as well. And it's never really been a better time to do it. And the hardware can definitely handle something like that, So it would be very interesting to see something like that come to fruition.
With that art style, it could look really good. Really, really good.